Hi, this is Joe. I'm at FF Scout_Joe on Twitter. Welcome to Chasing Green Arrows and welcome to Pimp My Team. This team is from my Scoutcast colleague, Seb. He has just wildcarded into this. So unfortunately, he's removed some good players, but also got some great players, long-term picks in here with Foden and Gundogan. There are doubts over Gundogan. He has back issues at the moment. And I am not convinced at the moment he is the best. He's a good Man City midfielder. So he might be one I would look at. But I think for the moment, I would just hold this team. I think it's fine to go into the fixtures. The only possible doubt is he's got 3 Manchester United players, and there could be an issue with COVID and their fixture against Brentford. But that's quite a small risk, I think, at the moment. We don't know. We don't know. But keep that in mind. But at the moment, I would hold this, and I would possibly reevaluate one of those Man City mids the following week. This team, I would just keep as it is. It's a tricky week. It's a midweek fixture. There will be rotation. If he's going to go into this with just one substitute, Livramento, if he wanted to cover himself, have like an insurance policy, then he could possibly look at MacArthur to another player. But I would just leave this, and if he's got, if it would help him get 2 free transfers the following week, and do something with that, I think I would do that. I would wait. This is my Scoutcast colleague Andy's team, and I think it's fine. Once again, I would think with a lot of teams with Manchester United assets, keep an eye on whether that fixture with Brentford's going ahead. So he'll find himself without a goalkeeper if that is the case. But at the moment, I would just keep as it is and save and go into 2 free transfers to game week 18. Game week 17 is, if you've got a team like this, hold. It's unfortunate about Cancelo being suspended. It's unfortunate that he's got Richardson. I don't even know who Richardson is, and he's not going to play. So Livramento is his only backup there. But I think they're pretty much sure starters. Smith Rowe is the only one I would reevaluate. For Smith Rowe, I think there's a number of options to replace him with if you were minded to. Odegaard at Arsenal, who is the guy in form at the moment in the Arsenal midfield, is a good choice. John McGinn at Villa, if you wanted to save a bit of money. Villa have got a great run of fixtures. John McGinn, I think, is a very good one. And if you can stretch a bit further, go for a differential. I like this place in this setup to be a differential midfielder. Go for someone like Tielemans. Go for a low-owned, potentially explosive midfielder, because he's got all the others covered, like Man City and Liverpool, for example. If Chelsea concede again, you go into it with double Chelsea defence. Well, you don't get Chelsea defenders for their clean sheets. You get them for their attacking returns. And Rudiger is very annoying at the moment in the box, and he is earning penalties. He can get assists, and he has a goal in him. It's James is the one. He's very expensive, and the wing backs are not working at the moment. They were. I personally would hold, because we know what James can do. But if the current structure of Chelsea stays as it is, if Kante's not returning soon, Chilwell's not returning soon, I think it could be James could be the one to reevaluate. This is a real fix weak links type team. Livramento at the moment, ideally you want on your subs bench, but he hasn't got much choice with this team. Long term, Sarr should make way for David De Gea or Ramsdale. I think they are by far the best goalkeeper options at the moment, and he's in that price range. He's in that neck of the woods. It's quite easy for him. Perhaps not the week to do it, though, in game week 17, because Brighton play Wolves. I'm a Brighton fan. Brighton's attack's not so great. Wolves' attack is non-existent. This has 0-0 written all over it. Could be famous last words, but I think I would hold Sarr for this week, and then game week 18, look to move him on to Ramsdale and De Gea. But the rest of the team's great. Like it. I don't like this team. And that's because I don't like the structure of it. So this is quite sad. But I don't like the fact that he's got Toney and King there. So Toney, obviously with COVID, he's been out for a little while. What sort of Toney is going to come back? King is good, but also cheap. And Antonio is not so good. So the attack is not the strikers is the weak point of this team. And I think the team is called I Like Toney, but I don't like Toney here. And I would replace him with Dennis or King at Watford. No, he's already got King. Sorry, Dennis. And I would go for actually a Dennis and King double up at the moment. Watkins, I like at 7.6. But really, I would like to see Ronaldo in here. And I think if you're going to go cheap with King, I would quite like to see Ronaldo. So there's some choices there. Ronaldo for expensive, Watkins for the middle, Dennis for cheap. I think they're all much better options than what he's got. But on the whole, I don't like this setup where the attack is that cheap. I think you need to invest in a bit of form, perhaps with the likes of Ronaldo. But I like the idea of Watkins for Villa. This is another team I don't like because of the striker setup there. Yes, Ronaldo's great, but then he's got Brozier and Davis. One of those is fine, and then supplement that with maybe a Watford striker or Watkins or an Antonio, but just something where you've got a bit of flexibility. So it's really inflexible. And it's worse this week because Brozier's got an injury, so he might not play. Davis isn't going to play anyway. So you definitely, and Ronaldo hopefully will play because of the Brentford game may be off because of COVID, but we hope so at this stage. So I don't like that. I would look to, I think he may have to take a hit, but I would look to perhaps upgrading Brozier to King or Dennis at Watford. And in order to fund that, I would say goodbye to Rafinha and maybe to Gallagher. And I don't know whether that should be enough. I think he's got 0.2 in the bank. It may be just enough. He might just miss out. And if so, find another way of getting some money. Perhaps Alonso or one of James. I don't think you need two Chelsea defenders at the moment. This is a classic team where you look fixing the weakest link first. Alexander-Arnold is not that. James and Rudiger, maybe one of them could go, James. Guaita again, at home, Southampton, I like. Salah, great. Smith Rowe, wait and see. Jota, great. Antonio, a wait and see, but let's give him another go. King, Ronaldo, great. It's Mbeumo. And I think that he could be moved on to Bowen if he can afford, if this manager can afford it, or Gallagher, or John McGinn. John McGinn is a player I really like at Villa. I think you're going to get some assists and the odd goal out of him, and I think he'll possibly do better than Mbeumo over the next few weeks. Oh, this team looks awful. It's my team. I did all right last week, game week 16, got 70 points, on the cusp of the top 100K again. So a nice green arrow. But there are some issues, some lingering issues to deal with. I was hoping to play Adam Armstrong this week at playing Crystal Palace, but he looks like he might be injured. So he is a problem. And I do not have a Watford striker. And I really like Dennis and King, which one to go for. In terms of expected goal involvement, King is your man. Over the last 4 game weeks, he has got far higher than Dennis. But over those 4 game weeks, Dennis has 7 shots inside the box, King 6. And in terms of big chances, King is a bit ahead of Dennis. So it's hard to say. Dennis is getting the goals, King is getting the stats. Ideally, I would like to get both, but I think I'm only going to get one in, and it's whichever. I've got nothing in the bank, so I think he's the one there, and that's going to sort my team out. The other weak link is Fernandes playing Manchester United. I took a leap of faith. I don't know if anyone's seen the Indiana Jones film, The Last Crusade. There is a leap of faith moment in it. How can you get across this chasm? I know. And then suddenly, I won't reveal what happens, but there is a way. There is a way. And I thought Fernandes would be the leap of faith and the way to get me some points, but he is not a stellar goalkeeper. Ramsdale, De Gea are the ones there. So eventually I want to move to them. It's going to be tricky with nothing in the bank. Tomiyasu from West Ham. I got him in because I couldn't afford Ramsdale, but a problem with my team each week for the last month or so, no Arsenal defence. So when they get a clean sheet, because Ramsdale's so well owned, and Ben White is reasonably well owned as well, I was losing out to rank there. So I just wanted to cover that off. I also like the fact that Tomiyasu, in terms of attacking defenders, he's one of the top 5 or 6 in terms of creating chances over the last 4 game weeks or so. So I've got the potential of points. Ideally, I wouldn't have wanted to play him this week. Ideally, I was looking to play Cancelo, but Cancelo annoyingly has got suspended. So Tomiyasu, I'm happy with. Most of my team, I'm happy with. It's really just Armstrong to Watford attacker and Fernandes to somehow to De Gea or Ramsdale. So I'm going to need to free up about 0.5. So I'm wondering if Chelsea's James could be the man to make way there. I'm sort of hoping, and he has another shoddy 0 or 1 pointer against Everton, because that will help me make up my mind. But if he gets a good return, game week 17, obviously it's going to be difficult to sell him. But the rest of them are okay with. The only other one is Antonio. Got him in for his great run of fixtures. Well, I've had him since the start, really, but I've kept him for this great run of fixtures. But I've got Bowen now. And Antonio to someone like Watkins, I like, or perhaps move down to a non-playing striker and then beef up Sissoko to a 5-man midfield. So these are options to have. And I think game week 17, I'm just going to play the fixtures, play the hand I've been dealt. I've got to upgrade Armstrong, really, if he's not available. Watford's strikers are fantastic. But longer term, James, Antonio, they're the ones to go. And somehow I've got to get rid of Fernandes. Somehow. This is Joe signing off. I'm on Twitter at @FFScout_Joe. This has been I've been pimping my own team here. This has been Chasing Green Arrows. Thanks so much for watching.